Are you constantly giving up after that initial burst of motivation? In this video, I'm going to show you why you've got motivation all wrong, a new way to look at it that will change how you see it forever, and 3 actionable steps you can take immediately after this video to start making the progress you've always been looking for. At the very end, I'll explain the one thing you'll probably forget that will keep you stuck in this cycle. At the start of a new project, our motivation levels are high. We hope to stay at that level, but it inevitably drops. Our motivation fizzles out, and we end up giving up and walking away. We think that's where it ends. We spend some time away only to come back a few weeks later to start the whole cycle again. What if we were to rethink this whole concept? Imagine your motivation is part of a never-ending cycle. We have high motivation periods and low motivation periods. Think of it like a wave on a graph, up and down, up and down. When we start a new project or idea, we usually start at the top of the motivation cycle. Normally, we expect and hope we can maintain this level, but we haven't started yet, we haven't felt the struggles, and we've long forgotten the pain of the last time we tried. But with this new framework, we know we have the low motivation period to come. So what can we do differently to prepare for it? Imagine going out for a hike, you've checked the weather forecast, and are expecting a period of bad weather. You'd be more accepting if you didn't make much progress during that period, and you'd probably pack a raincoat. If we can anticipate these swings, we can adapt our approach to suit the situation. When we are feeling strong and motivated, we can push that little bit harder. But when things get tough, we can assign tasks that are more manageable and cut ourselves some slack. The goal here is to survive the lows, not to excel. If we can make a small amount of progress, treat that as a bonus, because we can make real progress during the upswing of the cycle later. A byproduct of surviving the lows is your confidence improves. It's like surviving a rainstorm when you've been out on that hike. You'd be pleased that you made it through, even though you might not have made so much progress. So how do we go about this? Here's the 3 actionable steps to get started. 1. Be open, say what you'd ideally like to achieve, and then write it down. This opens a dialogue with yourself and opens a frame of reference where your expectations are. It can often highlight how unreasonable your expectations are given your current situation. But it lays the groundwork for what you can aim for over the longer term. It's okay to have ambitious targets because you will be able to achieve them given enough time. Now, dial it down a little bit. Consider what you could do on a typical good day. It should be slightly less than your expectations, but something that you would feel good if you could achieve. This can be your upper end target. Number 2, this is the crucial step. Think about what typically happens when you're at your lows. How you don't want to go for that run, how you don't want to read, study. Put your mind into this state just briefly. Now think about what this version of you could just about manage. Be kind to yourself here. This will be your minimum target. Remember, the goal here is to survive, not to excel. You now have a range, something you can do when you're feeling strong, and tasks you can do when you're in the low part of the cycle. This builds flexibility into your approach and will make you and your system more robust. 3. Set out a simple schedule to keep track. For example, if you're trying to build a weekly reading routine, the good days target can be read 4 days a week, at least a chapter each time. The more important minimum target can be at least once a week and at least 1 paragraph. It helps build consistency and allows you to show up for yourself during the toughest times, which is something you can be proud of and lean on in the future. Finally, here's a point you will forget when you need it the most. Focus nearly all of your time and attention on selecting the tasks that you can do during those low periods. Think about what your future self could do tired during those low periods. Make it survivable, because this is where it always breaks down. Don't be lured by the excitement of the new project and setting high expectations. By designing around the low periods, we can build a robust system for getting things done, which will in turn inspire confidence and make you realize you can show up for yourself.